One state lawmaker wants to stop undocumented students from getting in-state tuition, and another has filed a law in response to the controversy at OU. A student got a failing grade for her college essay on gender roles. News 4's Mecca Thompson is tracking both of those bills at our state capitol.
You may remember OU student Samantha Folnecki receiving a 0 on a Bible-based essay last year, sparking national debate concerning academic and religious freedom. And now state lawmakers are getting in the mix. Does your legislation have any ties to the controversy surrounding Samantha Folnecki at OU, that incident that happened?
I had started working some more on First Amendment issues back when Charlie Kirk was assassinated, and after that time, yes, that incident happened.
Folnecki submitted an appeal citing religious discrimination. As a result, the graduate teaching assistant was let go. Republican Senator Julie Daniels filing legislation that would require graduate TAs to receive training.
They need to know what the students' rights are and to make sure that they don't judge or grade somebody based on their point of view, but only on their academic performance.
Democratic Senators Kerry Hicks and Mark Mann voting no on Daniels' bill.
It's just state overreach. And the last thing we need to do is have the legislature dictating to higher ed.
I don't think we want to have teachers up there dictating and rewarding students who agree with them and negatively impacting those students who they disagree with.
Republican House Representative Chad Caldwell introducing his bill, saying it has no direct ties to the Folnecki controversy.
Would simply require that students...
I think that's like a load of bull crap anyways, and I'm pretty sure that's, well, it is the full tide for everything else. And everything else.
Students' grades would only be based on an academic basis. Goes on to state that a student's opinions and beliefs wouldn't impact their grade.
If the school ignores the proposed new rules, their funding would be at risk. Democratic Representative Michelle McCain applying pressure, saying it's obvious Folnecki's essay may be driving the legislation.
Just sounds like this is very much in response to that specific situation in which that student was not graded on their opinion. They were graded on the content of the essay.
On the topic of higher ed, also under consideration in the Senate, a bill to prevent undocumented students in Oklahoma from receiving in-state tuition and scholarships.
We want to make sure that people that come to our universities and our colleges are legally here. That's what the premise of this legislation is. Which perfectly aligns with what we're doing nationally.
We certainly want
They'd rather have someone who's legally here and, you know, someone who's function in society. And rather have anything else to do.
These are students that are going to be part of the workforce, and I think this is very short-sighted. It's already happening, but I think it's short-sighted to cut that tuition for them.
At the Capitol, Mecca Thompson, Oklahoma's News 4.
Thank you, and we will keep you updated on both of those bills as they move through the Capitol.
So not only that they rather keep the people down, it says, yes, undocumented immigrants can go to college in the United States as there's no federal law prohibiting their admission to public or private institutions while they are ineligible for federal financing aid, which that she thinks that she is.
They're great.
If the school ignores the proposed new rules, their funding would be at risk. Democratic Representative Michelle McCain applying pressure, saying it's obvious Folnecki's essay may be driving the legislation.
It just sounds like this is very much in response to that specific situation in which that student was not graded on their opinion. They were graded on the content of the essay.
On the topic of higher ed, also under consideration in the Senate, a bill to prevent undocumented students in Oklahoma from receiving in-state tuition and scholarships.
We want to make sure that people that come to our universities and our colleges are legally here. That's what the premise of this legislation is, which perfectly aligns with what we're doing nationally.
We certainly want an educated.
She wants them legally here because they don't want undocumented immigrants or even people who are of a different color to progress in this world of nations. They cannot get any financial gain. If they're paying out of pocket, then what's the problem? If they're paying the tuition, most places they can't even get So I don't understand why it would be like this.
Workforce. These are students that are going to be part of the workforce, and I think this is very short-sighted. It's already happening, but I think.
Absolutely, yes. Soon, if you're applying for Medicaid, SNAP, absolutely, yes.
So, yep. All right. So,
Soon, if you're applying for Medicaid, SNAP, TANF, and you're looking to get those welfare programs, you'll have to submit your citizenship status using a system used by the Immigrations and Customs Enforcement, ICE. Well, the House Speaker, he's running these bills, and he says he's hoping it cuts down on fraud.
I think that should be turned over to law enforcement.
House Speaker Kyle Hilbert says if you're applying for welfare in Oklahoma, you should be a citizen. If not, he's proposed major consequences.
If people are applying fraudulently for coverage and they are not American citizens, that those would be referred to the Attorney General's office to be turned over to ICE.
He has bills that would make every applicant for SNAP, Medicaid, TANF submit their citizenship status to a federal verification system. SNAP helps Oklahomans be able to afford food. TANF, or temporary assistance for needy families, provides support on.
I just don't understand, because not only not illegal immigrants cannot be on SNAP or any other federal program, because you need have a social ID and everything else. So I just don't understand why it would be like that. It just seems like Oklahoma just keeps on getting lower and lower nowadays, and they just don't understand what the situation is.
Things like
God, we are lower than low.
A bill on those two programs made its way through a committee last week. A different bill on Medicaid, commonly known as Sooner Care, made its way through a House committee Wednesday. Now, the House Speaker hopes his bills cut down on fraud.
I would anticipate that there will be those, when they see the pop-up, when they go to apply for welfare and see that their information is going to run through the ICE system, the SAVE system, that hopefully they don't even apply at that point.
In Governor Stitt's State of the State address,
Again, you cannot. It just shows how much that we are so dumb. No immigrant cannot be generally are ineligible for federal welfare benefits, including SNAP, food stamps, Medicaid, anything that limited services. It just, and that just goes around for everywhere.
he said Medicaid is getting expensive. Speaker Hilbert hopes this push will bring down the burden on state dollars.
So if we're going to spend in excess of $1 billion on Medicaid expenditures in the state of Oklahoma with Oklahoma tax dollars, we should ensure that those benefits, the recipients of those, are American citizens.
Now, I asked the House Speaker, do applicants right now not have to be citizens? That's an important question there. I just want to bring this up to make sure I get this here for you. He said there isn't specific language on it or any penalties, so he's wanting to make it tougher. Now, House Democrats, they were in those committees on these bills. They did vote against these bills. Reporting live inside the Capitol, Dakota Wapke, KOCO 5 News.
I just don't understand, because most of these things I don't like. It just shows how Oklahoma is being so behind on most things. And, it just kind of they're just dumb. This is common sense. How? Why would you make my taxes feed or house illegal aliens? Proof of citizens to vote for benefits if you are eligible. I would love to see this all across the United States of America. The curtain might fall for fraud. If you're illegal qualify. I think I spelled qualified wrong. Yes, I did. It's impossible. Impossible. Maybe we can help them become citizens? True. They should do it themselves, not my taxpayers' responsibility. How do you think the government works with our tax money? I'm gonna call him Dum Dum. I always ask myself, would Jesus have asked someone if they were a citizen before him? No. Then why do we? Don't we follow anyone who follows Jesus? Let's see what the replies are. Confused, are you? New Testament clarifies that governing authorities are established by God, so obeying them or generally obeying God's will. But how's that have to do with the government? Dang, I can't spell shit. Let's go look at this for the proposal. Talk about participating in trophies, the right to really become soft and thin-skinned. Anita OU shielded flunkery from a bad grade, which due to her paper being opinion and beliefs. Remember, folks, Oklahoma ranks 50 in it. Facepalm turns away. Put them down.